Greetings guys, gals, and non-binary pals, and welcome back to another video. I hope that you are well, and I hope that you are fighting, because there is a lot to be fighting for. As usual, there'll be a link in the description to the page on my website with a bunch of petitions, donations, emails to send to MPs, etc. Now today is another episode of sex education and things that I wish we'd have learned in school and things that I wish we talked about more just as a society. And that topic is how homophobia and toxic masculinity are ruining sex for straight men and affect a lot of other people in that as well. Now, most of my audience are queer women, so you might be asking like, what? Why? And that's because a lot of the queer women that follow me, that are subscribed to me, are also attracted to men, such as myself. So I feel like it's an important conversation to have and maybe bring up with your male partner or male partner in the future, or just to hold on to, because I feel like this applies to a lot of women as well. So let's get started. Something I think a lot of people are unaware of or just don't talk about is that men have a G-spot too. It is known as the P-spot, and it is the prostate, which can only be stimulated through anal penetration. Based on that information alone, I am sure you can tell the direction of this video and how homophobia and toxic masculinity play a role in this, and how it may worsen sex for cishet men, primarily. Now, the reason I say that this ruins sex for cishet men is because it is something that a lot of cishet men don't want to do. They don't want to partake in it because it is seen as gay, which we are going to talk about in a moment. When I say it's ruining sex, I mean that it is not allowing cishet men to have as fulfilling or as enjoyable sex as they could be having. Because the thing with P-spot stimulation is that it allows you to have a full body orgasm. It's way, way more intense, way longer lasting, sort of more like how women orgasm. A lot of men never experience this. A lot of men aren't willing to try this. And I think that obviously not everyone is going to be into it, not everyone is going to enjoy it, but I think that it is something that you have to ask yourself, why? And that is where homophobia and toxic masculinity come into it. There is this whole thing surrounding it where being anally penetrated is gay, because that is how gay men have sex. So therefore, if you want that, you must be gay. It must say something about your sexuality. Last time I checked, if you are a man having sex with a woman, there's nothing gay about that. Obviously, you can be queer and have heterosexual sex, but like, there's nothing gay about the act of a man and a woman having sex. I don't know where this idea that performing any sort of sex act with a partner of the opposite sex is gay. It doesn't work. That's not true. It doesn't say anything about your sexuality at all. And I see it coming from a lot of women as well. If their male partner has asked to be anally penetrated or has talked about that, they are often invalidated by their female partners who think that it's gay, who will be like, are you gay? And again, there's biphobia in there too, where it's like, what? So what if your partner did also like men? Pull it together, get over it. That's a whole other story. But wanting to try different things in the bedroom has nothing to do with your sexuality. Period. I think there is such this idea, like being perceived as gay or having people think that you are gay is such a negative thing that these people are like, no, I can't do it because it means something about my sexuality. But like, why does that even matter in the first place? Or even if we remove homophobia and just go for toxic masculinity, why is being submissive seen as being a masculine? Why do we normalize the idea of women being submissive, but automatically if you're a man who's submissive, it's a masculine and like not okay? We want to dismantle gender roles. Being a submissive man is totally fine and totally acceptable. And also, these are not discussions or conversations that you need to have outside of your relationship. Like, no one else has to know the dynamic of the relationship. No one else has to know what you get up to and what goes on between the two of you. So the idea that you're afraid of what? Is it the way that you perceive yourself? Are you afraid of what you'll figure out about yourself? Why do we bring this toxic masculinity and homophobia into the bedroom? It has no place there. That's meant to be like a safe space where you have like open communication and there's no judgment. You shouldn't be with someone who's going to judge you based on what you're into. And as I said, what you're into doesn't have anything to do with you or your sexual orientation. And if it is something that you are uncomfortable talking about with a partner, or you aren't sure if it's something that you would like, you can always try it by yourself. I understand the fear of talking about these things with a partner and not knowing if you're going to like it and being like really vulnerable. And sometimes people just aren't up for that. And that is totally fine and totally understandable. And it's really good to explore these things by yourself. And I think that we should be encouraging men to be doing this sort of thing and to figure themselves out, rather than just, my job is to penetrate people. That's it. That's all I'm good for. That's all I'm gonna do, and I'm not gonna try anything else because it's emasculine. And I mean, if you or your partner are uncomfortable about like butts and just like touching them because you're like, no, not a fan, because some people don't like that. There are so many options. There are so many toys. There are like specific like P-spot toys, and there's like, you can get like couples butt plugs, which I think is real cute. And there's just so many other options for that. I can leave a list of really great non-binary, gender inclusive, diverse sex shops down below if you wanted to check them out. There's some really good ones, and they sell a whole range of toys for this and for figuring this out by yourself or with a partner. Because why would you not at least try, not at least experience what it's like to have this different kind of next level orgasm? Why are you just passing that up? Is it because you're afraid of how you're perceived and people are like, that's pretty sus, I don't know, maybe he's gay? Firstly, why does it matter? Why does it matter if people think that you're gay? I don't quite understand. Why is it bad to be perceived as gay or have people question your sexuality? Why is being called gay like the worst insult? What's wrong with gay people, man? And again, people outside of you and your partner, or even outside of yourself, won't know unless you tell them, and you don't have to tell anyone anything. It doesn't say anything about you. Never has, never will. And the fact that it's seen as gay, thus bad, for you to be anally penetrated because only gay men have anal sex. Why is it totally fine for you to anally penetrate your female partner? Why is it good one way and not the other way? Why is that less gay? Because that's the way gay men have sex. You want to experience the sensation of anal, but only when you're the giver, because it's fine to be a top and not a bottom. Are we shaming bottoms now? Is it bad to be submissive? Why is it bad to be submissive? You view women as being submissive. So you're saying women are bad? Why is it? I don't know. This toxic masculinity thing sort of comes into play of anything feminine is bad to be, but you expect women to be those things. So you hate everything that women are, or what you expect them to be, obviously not what they all are. You just have to ask yourself these questions and where they come from. Why is it bad to do things that are seen as things women do? Why do we as a society hate women that much? It's not bad to be submissive. It's not bad to do things that are emasculine. It doesn't make you less of a man. If you identify as a man, then nothing will make you less of one. It's such a toxic mindset that so many men hold themselves back from doing so many things because they're afraid of being seen as emasculine, thus feminine and weak, as though being feminine and being weak are equatable, which implies that women are weak. There are all these patriarchal standards and you're holding on to your place in it. Obviously, it's okay if you aren't into these things, but you just need to ask yourself why. Is it because you aren't into it and you don't want to try it? Or is it because you're told it says something about you? And to the women with male partners who think that it's weird or think that it says something about them and their sexuality, why? Where does that come from? They're with you. They've chosen to be with you, a female partner. So even if they do like men as well, why does it matter? And again, it doesn't mean that they like men. It's this big back and forth conversation of, it doesn't mean you like men. It just means you like that sensation. And even if you did like men, why does it matter? I just don't understand homophobia. Also, I was talking about being submissive and dominant before. You don't have to be submissive in order to get P-spot stimulation because there are toys. You can still be the dominant one in the situation. No one even has to touch your butt. You can do that yourself. You can get a toy, you can put it in yourself, forget about it, just have sex like that. Then you're still dominant and getting the extra stimulation and better orgasm, you know? You don't have to be pegged. A lot of people aren't into that. Totally fine. It's up to you, but there are so many more ways to experience that and to experiment with that. So I highly encourage people to figure that out. Do it by yourself, do it with a partner, do it with multiple partners. I don't care. Up to you, as long as everyone's consenting and everything is consensual and there's communication. Try stuff that you haven't thought about trying. Enjoy sex to the best possible capacity. Even in the queer community, among queer cis women, there is this sort of fear and idea that this says something about their male partner. And I've even seen it from gay men sort of shaming straight men for wanting to be anally penetrated. I just feel like there's such this big stigma around it, and we are so quick to judge, and the homophobia even comes from the queer community, and I think that that's something that we have to look out for and that we have to confront and address. Why is this not talked about? Why is this not normalized? Why do we expect men to be dominant? It's a lot of pressure. Men are allowed to be submissive too. We're all equal, and we all deserve to try different things, experiment different things without judgment, whether that be on your own, with a partner, with multiple partners. Up to you and the people you're with, obviously. I hope that this has given you something to think about. Also, I would like to apologize if there wasn't a lot of gender inclusive language. Obviously, this applies for non-binary people, assigned male at birth, and trans women as well. Have discussions. Talk to your partners. Invest in toys. Have fun. Experiment. Live life without fear of other people's perceptions of you. I feel like I've repeated myself so many times and I've forgotten a bunch of stuff. I hope that I've given you something to think about. I hope that you've learnt something. Don't kink shame. Don't judge people. Sex between two people of the opposite gender is never gay. Smash the patriarchy. Enjoy the rest of your day. Vulva earrings are from Fruit and Veg on Depop and Instagram. The Anti-Trump Can't Grab My Pussy t-shirt is available from Karmic Witch. You can use TQK20 to get 20% off your order. They're amazing. I wear this in every single feminist video that I do. I love that. I love it so much. Stay safe. Keep fighting. I love you. Mwah.